Well, hi everybody, this is DearMamaSal. And can you hear my windshield wipers? No. Just as well, because guess what? We have rain. Luckily, it's not actually raining right at this moment, but we have had severe rain. I mean, I have skylights in my home and, sort of wonder, wow, if they're going to hold up type rain. Just to let you know, it's been a really amazing weekend. Very tiring, very emotional, and very satisfying all at one time. Isn't that just, I guess, a slice of life? I am really stunned that over the course of the weekend I had 3 different people share 3 very different stories with me, 3 very different challenges. And part of what really fascinated me was how very polite people suddenly appear to be becoming. And I say polite because you remember I was saying in the vlog I put up yesterday, actually very early this morning, about how Emily had waited so long to talk sort of almost semi-privately with us to tell us about her friend. Well, 2 different people I spoke to at the weekend, one on Tiny Chat, and then again, in fact 2 on Tiny Chat. And in each case, they sort of waited until it was sort of semi-private or private before they spoke to me. And I'd like to just say to everybody, whether you come on to Vaughan TV or whether you come on to Tiny Chat, because we now broadcast on both, if you need to speak to me privately, you just need to tell me that. And preferably give me a Skype number or something else that I can get back to you at, so I can get back to you once the broadcast is finished, so you don't have to be popping in and out all the time to find out how many people are in the room. Because here's the other thing, that if it's a sort of fun evening, then I will probably broadcast slightly longer, and then not knowing that you actually need to speak to me privately. If I know that somebody's waiting to speak to me privately, then I'm more likely to sort of either cut the broadcast fairly at a decent time, like a couple of hours, or at least give you a heads up as to when I might be able to get back to you. So, but again, it's about, thank you for those considerations. You guys are awesome. We met lots of new people this weekend, and that's always interesting. And I find it really fascinating to meet new people and hear what their information is. I don't know if I mentioned it in yesterday's vlog, and forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but we've met one lady who spends an awful lot of time helping children who are being bullied. And that's an incredible thing to do. We know her as Thelma on the broadcast, but she does a great deal to help children who are being bullied. And so, as I was saying in yesterday's broadcast, this is very exciting to me that we're sort of able to get a group of people together who, in different ways, have different talents. I remember in the original days, when we started doing the broadcasts, we had our EMT Katie, who was really good about talking to people who were in pain. And it was just like we had different segments of DearMamaSal. And it's really nice to know that we have people coming to us that have those sort of skills. And that's very important in my mind. So very, very challenging weekend from a technological point of view. I've basically had to strip my computer almost. I tried to do what I call a reset back about 2 weeks. But if that doesn't fix the problem, then I'm going to have to reset it right back to factory type settings and try again. Because definitely something was slowing down my computer horrifically. It was still working well, but something was going wrong. All my shortcuts ceased to work. Stupid things. And that tells you that something somewhere is not good. Really not good. And also, if I understand it correctly, something has turned off my Norton software. And I can't turn it back on again. So I think I'm going to have to talk to Norton tonight and see if they can help me with that. Or install another program instead and take Norton out. These are challenges. If you don't want challenges in life, then I guess don't do anything, right? Perhaps the most moving part of the weekend for me was to get a chance to talk to a woman who made a conscious decision to continue to live. Which under the circumstances is extremely brave. The whole issue about life or death is a very personal one in a lot of ways. And in this particular case, I chose not to intervene because there was nothing I could do to make it better. And there is part of me that goes, would I want this person to continue to suffer? And the answer obviously would be no. And the only question I didn't know is, have they suffered enough for that? So at that point you ask yourself, do I have any right to intervene here? And because we're talking about an adult who's making rational decisions. And so you look at that and you go, not much I can add to this. Now there are going to be some of you probably be quite shocked about that, and I obviously run yet another risk just to tell you that truth. Some of you wondering why on earth I didn't intervene, or maybe that you think you could have done something, but it isn't about that. You see, I hold people, on the whole, I hold people very able. I try not to enable people. I hold them able. So I won't nag them to death. I will give them what help I can, and then let them make their own choices. And because that's what you do with adults. And it's very important that you honor that. Now, if you're constantly babying them and doing all sorts of other things, then what you're really doing is not holding them able. And it's an issue that really is difficult for a lot of people to understand, because there's a fine line between supporting somebody and enabling them. And I will support anybody I can, any way I can. But enabling is a different thing. So, big weekend. Big weekend with lots of different emotions attached to it. And that in its own way was very tiring for me. I had 2 nights where I didn't get to sleep much before 4 o'clock in the morning. And I can assure you my house did not get cleaned. I struggled even to get my wash done. So it was a very busy weekend doing work on DearMamaSal, not on anything else. But you know, I always ask myself when these things happen, you know, if I knew that I only had 6 months to live, would I be doing that or cleaning house? Yep. So tonight I'm going to come home and hopefully not be too tired, although more normally on a Monday I'm very tired. But try and get, no, not try, I'm going to get some housework done, just a little, even if it's only half an hour. I need some discipline around that this week because I did so little this weekend. And half an hour a day will do it. I'll get caught up. And on the Battle of my Bulge report, I have not lost any more weight, but I did put on a couple of pounds, which is not surprising, but I'm pleased to say I did lose them again, so I'm still at minus 5 pounds, and that's in less than 2 weeks. So that's still very good in my book. I did get on the Total Gym yesterday for a little while. Didn't do a whole lot, but did some. And what I like about the Total Gym is, boy, you can really see the difference when you bother to do it. And what I'm trying to do is to get a mini routine going, where I literally do a series of things in order. And then what I do is, before I start on the Total Gym, I put a timer on. And if by the time I finish the routine the timer hasn't gone, I'll start at the beginning again, or decide whether I want to stop. And it's actually working quite well. And it's just a little routine, not serious, but all of it involves bench squats, if you like, because a lot of it is on my back and just literally doing squats. So I know that even though I'm lying on my back on a bench doing squats, that is using an awful lot of muscles. What I find today, and still find, is one series that I do, I actually have my hands above my head, and boy, can I feel the pull on my muscles doing that. Which is, again, a good thing, because obviously those muscles have atrophied to some degree. And so the fact that I'm using those muscles will be, how can I describe that? We'll be using energy that hasn't been used for a while. And if you use energy, if those muscles are screaming and saying, oh my gosh, what are you doing to me? And the chances are, other stuff is moving in to help it there. That's how I like to imagine it. And all that action is causing heat, which is burning off calories. I like to see the visual of it rather than just the science of it. So I've done quite a lot of pulling those muscles quietly, and I must say I'm finding it very relaxing. As in all things to do with discipline and exercise, the hardest part is actually getting off my butt and going to the total gym. And I'm sure any of you who are exercising, with the exception of a couple that I know, the hard part is actually doing it, getting started. And what I want to do is just tell you something that is true of everything that's difficult in life. Anything you're procrastinating about, the hardest thing is getting started. You will remember me in trying to empty those boxes in my back room. Still not finished, but it's taken me months to get started on the last ones because I knew they were going to be difficult. Now the joke was, as soon as I started them, I did 10. And it wasn't that difficult, and I threw nearly everything away. So that, if you think about it, means that our perception of what's going to happen is far worse than the reality. Right? We imagine these things to be far worse than they really are. And we don't concentrate on the euphoric feelings we will get when we finish them. I can assure you that when I finished 10 boxes, I had a lot of serotonin, that's the happy sort of stuff, flowing through my system. It was a real mojo boost type thing. Yes, I did that. And I was so thankful to Laurie for coming and helping me with that. And she said, well, I didn't do anything except sit in my butt and shred a few bits of paper. But it wasn't that. She was there to assist me. And also, when I finished on the total gym, I really do feel good about having done it. Even if I only do 10 minutes. 6 to 10 minutes. Sometimes I only get 6 to 10 minutes in. But at least it's 6 to 10 minutes of moving all those muscle groups. Because I want to tell you, the total gym is like circuit training. It uses an awful lot of muscles. It uses everything. And if you can imagine that it's 10 solid minutes of doing squats. And it's peculiar because Manon sent Jen and I the squat challenge, and I'm sitting there thinking, I won't be able to do 3. And then I thought, wait a minute, isn't that what I'm doing every day that I'm on the total gym? Because the total gym is like a sliding board, and I've got it at an angle, and therefore that's what I'm doing. Now I'm doing sort of not at this angle, I'm doing them at this angle, but I am doing them. But I will try some. I actually said to Manon, I didn't think I'd be able to do more than 3, because I think on the first day you're meant to do 30. trying. I'd be really happy if I could do 3 of those. But I definitely will give that a go today. I'm not quite sure when I looked at it whether you're allowed to hang on to something, because I think if I tried to do the squats without having something to hang on to,